the C rules, and we refer to them as the compromise rules, because these are the rules where the seller and buyer really talk about who's going to arrange for what, but also who's going to have the risk for that freight arrangement. If you're a seller, maybe you can arrange the freight and you don't mind doing it for the buyer, and perhaps you can do it even cheaper than the buyer can, but you don't want the risk of the transportation. So this is where the buyer and seller talk, and the seller says, yes, I'll arrange that, but I'm not going to take the risk. So, for instance, in the CPT rule, if my rule is CPT, the seller's location, then I'm the buyer and I am going to expect to receive the goods, say, in Nigeria. But you, the seller, are going to load a truck to take the goods to the airport or to the port. But when you load that truck, seller, you have transferred risk to me, the buyer. That's an agreement that the seller and buyer make. Sometimes that point in place that's named is, say, at the airport or at the port. But once the goods are turned over to the carrier, right? So maybe it's a domestic move. It could be to the truck line. It could be to the railroad. It could be to the airport. Once the goods are turned over to the carrier, either at the seller's location or at another local named point, then the risk is passed. So the seller has arranged the further transport all the way to the destination, but they do not have the risk for that.